Hello everyone, and welcome to the fourth episode of the AI podcast. In this video, we will talk about the great Indian market, its challenges, and how to dominate it. So keep watching this video till the end and let us start the podcast.
That sounds like a fun episode. I'm ready to dive into the topic of the Indian market with some humor. Ask away, and I'll do my best to bring the laughs while providing insightful answers.
So according to you, what is special about the Indian market? How will you differentiate it from rest of the world?
The Indian market. Where else can you find a bindi, okra, selling next to the latest iPhone, and a guy bargaining for 10 rupees off his chai, but still dropping $500 on a movie ticket? It's like a magical mix of tradition and tech, a place where you can buy gold jewelry and download the latest Bollywood movie, all in the same shopping mall. What makes the Indian market special is the sheer diversity. You've got the massive urban centers where tech and luxury brands reign supreme, and then the smaller towns where the local chaiwala is the true king of the market. But here's the fun part. There's this blend of old and new. It's like watching a Bollywood film where you have the hero flying through the air, but also stopping to have a very serious conversation with the villain about samosas. And the thing that really sets it apart is the pricing. Indian markets are the masters of value for money. The same product can be priced 10 different ways, depending on where you're shopping. But everyone believes they're getting the best deal. And let's not forget the jugaad. You'll find the most creative ways to sell and buy products. Ever seen a vendor sell a phone charger that's literally taped together? Welcome to India. So yeah, the Indian market is a beautiful mess of technology, tradition, and bargaining, all served with a side of masala. It's like no other market in the world, my friend.
So as per your experiences, what are the key foundations and values of the Indian market?
If we're talking about the foundations and values of the Indian market, let's grab a chai and settle in, because this is going to be a spicy one. You see, at the heart of the Indian market are some core values that pretty much dictate everything, like a secret recipe for success passed down through generations, sprinkled with a bit of Bollywood drama. Family and trust in India. Business isn't just about transactions. It's about relationships. Forget just selling a product. What you're really selling is trust. If you've ever tried buying something from a street vendor, you know the drill. RBI. Ye item to bilkul asli hai. Trust me, it's 100% authentic. In the Indian market, trust isn't just a value, it's the currency. The family-based businesses thrive here, and there's always that one uncle who knows someone who can get you anything for half the price. Bargaining is an art. The Indian market doesn't just run on cash flow. It runs on hustle. If you're not bargaining, you're not really living. The art of negotiation is almost sacred here. There's a saying, if you didn't bargain, you didn't shop. You might think you've scored the best deal, but that vendor will give you a knowing smile, and you'll soon realize, wait, I could have gotten a discount. It's all part of the charm. Community over individual. In India, business isn't about individual glory. It's about the community. People buy from people they know, and the more you can blend into the community, the better. It's like a big, bustling marketplace where everyone knows your name and your aunts, and they'll make sure you never pay more than what's necessary. Plus, if you're selling in a local market, it's practically a requirement to have that chit-chat about the weather and how bad the traffic is today. That's the real business strategy. Adaptability and resilience. Have you seen a shop that opens in the middle of a monsoon season or during a heat wave? That's the Indian market for you. Resilience and adaptability are key. Vendors here can sell anything under any condition, from winter coats during a heat wave to mangoes in December. The Indian market is never caught off guard. It's always ready to adjust, improvise, and find ways to make things work. Just like how every Bollywood hero, no matter the odds, manages to come out on top. Value for money. The good old value for money principle. If I can buy it for cheaper, why would I spend more? That's the vibe in India. The local market thrives on affordability. Whether it's a tech gadget or the freshest vegetables, the Indian market is all about making sure you're getting the most for your rupee. If it's not a bargain, why bother? Cultural diversity. Last but definitely not least, the Indian market is like a mini version of India itself, a tapestry of diversity. From south to north, east to west, Every region has its unique tastes, products, and even shopping style. The same market is like a melting pot of languages, traditions, and tastes. You could be in Mumbai buying gadgets, and 2 hours later in Kolkata bargaining for sweets and saris. It's like a world tour in one country. So, in essence, the Indian market thrives on relationships, trust, adaptability, community, resilience, and the best darn bargains you can find. It's a delightful blend of old-school values and new-age business savvy, all served with a side of chutney because why not?
So if I ask you what is the most demanding sector in Indian market, how will you answer that and on what basis?
If you're asking which sector is the most demanding in the Indian market, let me tell you, it's like choosing between Pani Puri and Chole Bhature. Both are top contenders, but they serve totally different cravings. That said, if I had to pick, the most demanding sector right now is technology and e-commerce. But don't just take my word for it. Let me explain why. Tech and digital transformation. India is going through a digital revolution like it's the hottest new dance move on TikTok. With 1 billion+ people, an exploding number of smartphone users, and a growing internet penetration, technology has pretty much become the backbone of India's economy. From fintech to edtech to health tech, every industry is getting a techifeed makeover. Everyone wants an app, a website, or a smart solution. If you're not talking tech in India, you're probably still using a dial-up connection. The demand for software development, artificial intelligence, data analytics, and cybersecurity is soaring. It's like India is trying to leap from the horse-drawn cart to the rocket ship in one go. E-commerce. Look at the rise of companies like Flipkart, Amazon, and the hundreds of D2C brands popping up every day. Indians have officially fallen in love with online shopping, and that love affair is only getting stronger. Whether it's gadgets, groceries, or garlands, people are shopping online like it's a sport. In fact, during festivals like Diwali, you'll find that e-commerce companies have more sales than your local bargaining champion can offer. And don't get me started on the last-mile delivery. We've reached a point where you can have your food, fashion, and even your mom's favorite pickle delivered at the speed of light, or at least in a few hours. The demand for logistics, warehousing, and supply chain management is booming in this sector. Fintech, now this is the goldmine, my friend. Digital wallets, UPI payments, and peer-to-peer lending platforms are so mainstream. Even your grandma probably has a UPI ID. The fintech sector in India is exploding. From personal loans to investments, digital banking, and even buy now, pay later schemes. India is all about money in the pocket, literally and figuratively. It's easy, fast, and everyone from tech-savvy teens to older generations are using it. The demand for new financial products and services is high, and venture capital is loving it. Healthcare and health tech. Let's face it, healthcare is something no one can escape, and India has a unique challenge, balancing the sheer size of its population with the need for quality healthcare. That's where health tech steps in. We're seeing rapid growth in telemedicine, online pharmacies, and healthcare data management. The demand for affordable and accessible healthcare solutions is high, especially post-COVID, when people realize that online consultations and health monitoring are no longer a luxury, but a necessity. Renewable energy, now. While tech and e-commerce are the instant gratification sectors, renewable energy is the long-term hero. With the global push for sustainability, India has ramped up its renewable energy production, especially solar power. We're talking about ambitious goals of reducing carbon emissions, making energy affordable, and expanding rural electrification. There's a massive demand for clean energy solutions as industries and individuals realize it's not just about saving the planet, but also about saving money. In summary, if you're thinking about where the action is in the Indian market right now, it's all about tech, e-commerce, and fintech. They're the rock stars, and the demand for these sectors is growing faster than the number of Bollywood dance numbers in every movie. So, if you're planning to make your mark, this is where you'll find the crowd.
Do you think that local business dominate the market more than MNCs?
The classic battle between the homegrown local heroes and the mighty multinational corporations, MNCs. It's like David versus Goliath, but instead of a slingshot, David's armed with unbeatable customer service, personal touch, and a deep understanding of the market. So, let's break it down with a little humor, shall we? Who really dominates the Indian market? Well, like the most entertaining Bollywood movies, it's not all black and white. Both local businesses and MNCs have their place, and they often complement each other. Local business wins in niche and personalized markets. If you're looking for something unique, or if you're in a smaller town where an MNC doesn't have a presence, local businesses will reign supreme. They have an intrinsic understanding of what their customers need and are better suited to offer personalized solutions. MNCs win in large-scale, mass-market reach. When it comes to brand recognition, trust, and accessibility, MNCs often have the upper hand, especially in metros and big cities. They have the resources to drive widespread change and influence consumer behavior on a massive scale. The blended model, local plus global, the future could very well lie in a mix of both. We're already seeing local businesses tie up with MNCs for distribution or technology upgrades. For instance, Flipkart, a local giant, is owned by Walmart, a global player, showing that there's a lot of room for synergy between the two worlds. So, to wrap it up, local businesses dominate in personalized services, adaptability, and affordability, while MNCs bring in global trust, technology, and mass appeal. They're both playing on different pitches, and it's a game where everyone can win, depending on the scenario.
But nowadays, as we see, many people are going towards MNCs. So how will it affect the Indian market?
The rise of MNCs has been like a dramatic plot twist in a Bollywood movie, hasn't it? A few years ago, people were loyal to their local vendors, and now it feels like everyone's suddenly rushing to MNCs for the global experience. But hey, let's dive into how this shift is affecting the Indian market, and I promise I'll keep the drama level in check. The rise of MNCs is undoubtedly reshaping the Indian market. While they bring innovation, global products, and new jobs, they're also pushing local businesses to evolve, innovate, and adapt. The Indian market is in the midst of a beautiful melting pot, where both local businesses and MNCs can thrive together. The real takeaway: balance. As long as MNCs bring in the best of the global market and local businesses continue offering that intimate, personalized touch, Indian consumers will have the best of both worlds. So, will MNCs dominate? Maybe. But local businesses will always have the masala to keep things interesting.
So if the government spend more on improving local business rather than in MNCs, will it be profitable for the Indian market?
Now we're talking about a strategic plot twist, where the government decides to put its chips on the local businesses rather than the glittering MNCs. Imagine it. A market where local businesses get all the support, incentives, and subsidies, and the government actively nurtures them while giving MNCs a bit of a backseat. It would certainly shake things up, wouldn't it? If the government spends more on improving local businesses, it could definitely help create a more self-reliant, resilient, and culturally rich economy in India. Local businesses could thrive with better access to resources, technology, and markets, which in turn could foster job creation, innovation, and economic growth. But just like any good movie plot, there's a twist. Balance is key. MNCs also play an important role in driving global competitiveness, innovation, and job opportunities. A healthy mix of both, local businesses getting the government support they need, while MNCs continue to bring in global benefits, would truly be the recipe for success in the Indian market. In the end, it's about finding that sweet spot between Make in India and global connections.
So suppose you have to open a masala brand in India. How will you do packaging of it in such a way that it relates with more and more Indian customers, as customers don't buy product, they buy stories behind that? So how will you advertise it?
Launching a masala brand in India. Now, that's like entering a spice kingdom where every region has its own distinct flavors, traditions, and taste buds. So, let's break this down and make sure we're not just selling masalas, but the soul of Indian cuisine. The key here is to connect with the emotional side of the customers, because as you rightly pointed out, they don't just buy products, they buy stories. Step 1. Understanding the Indian customer's connection with masalas. In India, masalas are more than just ingredients. They represent the heart of Indian cooking and family traditions. They are passed down from generation to generation, carrying with them stories of grandmothers, festive celebrations, and local village traditions. So, to succeed in this market, you need to tap into that nostalgia, heritage, and emotional connection. Step 2. Packaging strategy that tells a story. Now, packaging is the first point of contact a customer has with your product, so it must speak volumes. Here's how we can make the packaging relatable and rooted in Indian culture. 1. Traditional but modern design. A mix of heritage and innovation. Colors and patterns. Use vibrant earthy tones like deep reds, saffron yellows, mustard greens, and spicy oranges, colors that resonate with Indian spices and traditional kitchens. Incorporate intricate Indian patterns like paisleys, mandalas, or block prints, which evoke a sense of heritage and craftsmanship. Regional influence. Since India is a country of diverse cultures, customize your packaging to reflect regional influences. For example, North India. Packaging could include motifs of Punjabi folklore embroidery or Mughal designs. South India. Use patterns inspired by kolam art or chettinad designs. West India. Add elements from Gujarat's Bandhani or Maharashtrian Paithani fabrics. East India. Include Bengali floral motifs or Odisha's Patachitra art. 2. The story behind each masala. You want each masala to come with its own unique story that connects to a particular region, family, or culture. For instance, biryani ka masala. The packaging could tell the story of the royal kitchens of Hyderabad, where the biryani was perfected, and include a brief narrative about how it became a family recipe over generations. Gujarati dakla masala. The packaging could narrate the story of a small, vibrant shop in Ahmedabad, where every dakla has a unique, magical touch, passed down from a mother to her daughter. Add QR codes or short links on the packaging that lead to video stories or recipes that showcase the masala's roots, perhaps a family in Rajasthan making dal bati with your masala, or a grandmother's recipe from Kerala. 3. Eco-friendly and sustainable materials. India's youth is increasingly becoming more environmentally conscious, so go for eco-friendly packaging that reflects this. For example, craft paper bags with traditional prints. Glass jars for premium masalas to evoke a sense of authenticity. Reusable cloth bags for the spices in bulk. This adds a touch of sophistication while staying eco-conscious and ties in with the growing trend of sustainability in India. Step 3. Creating an emotional connection with your brand. 1. Storytelling in advertisements. When you advertise, storytelling is key. You're not just selling masalas. You're selling a piece of Indian culture. Here's how we can do it. The Secret Family Recipe campaign. Show how each spice in your masala blend has a story, a grandmother's secret ingredient, or a traditional village recipe. The ad could feature a grandmother and granddaughter cooking together in a traditional kitchen, and how the masalas are passed down through generations, from our village to your kitchen. This could be a campaign where you showcase local artisans or small-scale farmers growing and harvesting the raw materials for the masalas. Show the masalas in their raw form, blending into a rich, aromatic final product. The focus should be on authenticity, quality, and community. Highlight how these masalas bring people together in every home, in every kitchen. Cultural festivals and celebrations. Link your masala brand with major festivals, Diwali, Holi, Onam, Durga Puja, as spices are integral to these celebrations. Create ads showing families cooking festive meals together using your masalas, and how those meals bring joy, laughter, and unity to every home. Think nostalgia meets celebration. 2. The Spice Journey. Connecting with millennials and Gen Z. Now, let's tap into the young, digitally savvy crowd who values authenticity and experiential living. Collaborate with food bloggers and chefs on social media who can share stories of cooking with your masalas in vibrant, engaging video content. Let them showcase how your masalas take their food to the next level and connect it with a feeling of nostalgia and tradition. Encourage user-generated content on social media where customers share their cooking stories using your masala. Maybe run a #MasalaMemories campaign where people post pictures of family cooking moments or their favorite regional dishes made with your masalas. Don't forget about the power of memes and humor. Spice it up with some funny, relatable content on Instagram, such as when you add too much masala to your curry, but your family loves it anyway. Because, let's face it, everyone loves a good meme about food. Step 4. Partnerships and collaborations. Collaborate with chefs and food influencers to create signature dishes that highlight your masala. Let them share their personal stories of how these recipes came to be, especially if they have a regional connection. Partner with food festivals or even regional food trucks, and sponsor cooking competitions where participants can only use your masalas. In summary, how to package and advertise your masala brand. Packaging. Use vibrant, culturally rich designs that resonate with regional traditions, featuring stories of the masala's origins and its cultural significance. Storytelling. In your ads, connect the product with nostalgia, tradition, and family. Show how these masalas have been part of Indian kitchens for generations. Sustainability. Incorporate eco-friendly packaging to appeal to environmentally conscious customers. Digital engagement. Tap into social media trends with fun, relatable content, and encourage customers to share their own stories. Collaborations. Work with food influencers and chefs to amplify your brand story. In the end, your customers aren't just buying a masala. They're buying a piece of India, one that smells, tastes, and feels like home.
So what are the challenges you see in making a space for yourself in Indian market?
To carve a space for yourself in the Indian market, you'll need a blend of innovation, local understanding, and trust building. It's not easy, but if you get the story right, understand the market nuances, and connect emotionally with your customers, India is a goldmine waiting to be explored. Just remember, the key is to stay authentic, adaptable, and hyperlocal because in India, one size doesn't fit all.
What is the one thing that one business should never do in Indian market and why?
The one thing a business should never do in the Indian market is underestimate the value-conscious nature of Indian consumers. Why? Indians, by nature, are extremely value-driven. They love a good deal and are always on the lookout for the maximum bang for their buck. Even if someone is purchasing a premium product, they still expect it to come with justifiable value, be it through features, durability, quality, or emotional connection. If a business ignores this and prices its products or services too high without delivering value or tries to exploit their trust, it will face significant backlash. And in this age of social media, even one misstep can result in massive reputational damage. Examples of what not to do. Overpricing without value. Launching products or services at inflated prices without adding something unique or meaningful will push customers toward more affordable alternatives. Ignoring cultural sentiments. Insensitivity to local traditions, festivals, or customs can alienate customers. Remember, emotional connection matters just as much as quality. False promises. Indian consumers value authenticity. Overpromising and underdelivering is a surefire way to lose their trust. A bad review travels fast here. Disregarding regional diversity. India is not a monolith. Businesses that assume one size fits all across languages, preferences, and cultures will fail to resonate with a significant portion of the population. What happens if you do this? Loss of trust. Trust, once broken, is hard to regain in the Indian market. Backlash. Negative word of mouth spreads fast, especially on social media. Shift to competitors. With so many options available, customers won't hesitate to try local or global competitors. In conclusion, a successful business in India must balance value, trust, and adaptability. If you don't respect the customer's need for value or fail to understand their emotional connection to their purchases, they will simply move on, and they'll take their friends and family with them.
So if I ask you one piece of advice for thriving in the Indian market, what will it be?
The golden advice. If there's one piece of advice I could give for thriving in the Indian market, it would be understand and embrace the power of personalization and relatability. Why? Because in India, people don't just buy products, they buy stories, experiences, and emotions. The Indian market is like a huge melting pot of cultures, values, and traditions. If your product or service can connect with the local sentiment, adapt to regional nuances, and tell a story that resonates, you'll be miles ahead of the competition.
So thank you, Mr. GPT, for such valuable and amazing insights on the Indian market. And I hope the viewers would have taken notes from this podcast to thrive in the market. So, see you guys in the next video, but before leaving the video, make sure you have liked the video and subscribed to the channel. Good luck.